Welcome to Thrift Store Chats, episode 4. I'm your host, Joe, and on today's show, we got the College Picker. Welcome to Thrift Store Chats. On today's show, we got the College Picker. How's it going today, College Picker?
I'm driving.
Where are you driving from?
I'm driving from the Bonafide Hustler's house to as far as close to Florida as I can get today.
Whereabouts are you now?
On my way to Houston. I'm on 290, I think, is the road. 290.
So, what did you do in Austin? What did you and the Bonafide do?
The first day I was in here, I think we went to a bunch of pawn shops and hustled some electronics from some pawn shops. We went to a Goodwill. I had an amazing, it was definitely my best book score ever from a Goodwill. I just got really lucky there. It was a bunch of textbooks, actually, from some student that donated it. Maybe she took the class and she was like, oh, this is too hard. But they were all on sonography, which, if anybody knows, that is ultrasounds and vascular diagnostic books for the medical field. And I think she was a little bit overwhelmed by the classes and stuff because she donated all these brand new books, and it ended up being probably about $500 with the 5 or 6 books that I bought.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. I scanned one of them, and it popped up as like $60, and I was like, oh gosh, they're all gonna be worth money. So I just grabbed them all. Each one was like $1.99 or $2 or something. It was crazy. That is crazy.
Did you get any other scores while you're down there?
Not that day. I went to some pawn shops that day. We actually did. We got a lot of electronics. I got a Sony Bloggy. I got a Microsoft Surface, which I've never really gotten into, but I'm trying out the Windows 8 8.1 tablets just to see how I like the system. I got a good deal on a Surface. I actually bought an iPhone 5S for $250, which is a really good deal, and it ended up being stolen. I brought it home and tried to put my SIM card in it, and that thing would not turn on and inactivate. And I ran the IMEI through swappa.com, and it ended up saying it was blacklisted, stolen.
Man, that's not good.
That was misfortune, but they were really good about letting us return it the next day. They were kind of embarrassed that they sold me a stolen phone, actually.
That was from a pawn shop?
Yeah, actually, that was from a pawn shop, and usually you have pretty good luck with non-stolen electronics at a pawn shop, but for some reason, that phone, they got it, and it might have been in like a lag time between when the person actually reported it and when they pawned it. It might have still been clean, but by the time I got it, it was dirty.
Well, that's probably good that you got to go check it out right away. And
I got rid of it as soon as I could.
What else did you get? Anything else? What's Bonafide up to?
He hustled about 3 bikes when I was there with him. And I just was chilling in the car, like during the Craigslist deal. We'll be in the middle of like getting Chipotle, and he'll get a text and be like, "All right, dude, I gotta swing by the house." And we'll like drop all the plans. I gotta swing by the house, get the bike, and meet up with this guy, and then we'll just like go sell a bike.
Oh my gosh!
So that happened like 3 out of the 6 days I was there. It was like a bike deal going down. I tried to take as many pictures of him doing the deal as possible, posting on the Facebook page, just so people could see like he actually is hustling bikes.
Yeah, I saw a picture on Facebook, but you never said if the deal went down or not. So it did.
Yeah,
apparently it went down.
They're going down. He's buying these bikes from like Goodwill or from a pawn shop for like pennies on the dollar, I guess, and then selling them for the one he sold for like $40. He bought it for $10. It was like a kid's bike, and then the other ones I think he sold for like $250, and he's like, I got it from a pawn shop for like $100. And then another one was some wheels that he had, and he just actually got another bike from a pawn shop when I was there with him. It's a cool experience because I sell bikes, but he knows bikes really, really, really well. That he wrote like a guide about it so much that he freaking knows bikes.
So I know you've been away from Florida for about 5 or 6 months, and you were in New Mexico. Did you do a lot of thrifting up that way?
Not a whole bunch. There was one Goodwill in the town that I lived at. I would pop in here and there, maybe like once a week. I had found some good video game scores, some nice Patagonia jackets, a lot of toner cartridges. Surprisingly enough, I found a bunch of toner cartridges, made money here and there, but nothing. It was totally part-time, dude. It was like a couple of hours a week, barely hustling. I did go sourcing in Albuquerque one time, but for the most part, man, I was in work mode. It was a totally different mindset.
So what would you say for like some people who do live in towns like that and do want to thrift and sell, and one Goodwill in the area? How should they go about it?
Know when your new carts come out and then focus on going to the new carts. I would always look at the carts in the glass case, because the glass case is where they put the most valuable things inside of the glass case, and that's actually where I found a lot of really good video game scores, at that Goodwill. But the flea market, they did have a good flea market. I wasn't able to go to it that much, but the time that I did go to it, I was impressed with the prices and the mutton that they had there for sale, the local food, the cuisine, the fried mutton, and fried bread and the mutton.
Hey, some fried bread and mutton. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
And the green chili, right?
Yep, mutton, fried bread, and green chili. It's like
nice.
one of the staples of the Four Corners area. I was also noticing a lot more like Native American jewelry there. Like that's something that I could see myself getting more into, but I wasn't there long enough to kind of learn a little bit about it. Like I'd always see people wearing the turquoise pieces, like really big into silver. A lot of the Aztec print stuff, like really cool Pendleton bags, things like that.
You ever want to learn how to make Native American jewelry, man? I'm your guy, man. I'll teach you how to do it.
You buy and sell, or you just make it?
I can make it. I've learned how to make it here. I've been taught. This one guy taught me how to do it, and yeah, I know how to make some Native American jewelry.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever made any to sell, or you just have the skill in your back pocket just in case?
Yeah, maybe just a skill. I've really made the ones I made just mainly for family and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, that makes it more like one of a kind if you're not mass producing it.
Yeah,
just sentimental value.
It's fun to see something, buy something, the raw, or buy the stone, and then I always did turquoise, so I'd buy like turquoise stone, and then just buy the metal and the sterling silver, and it's fun just to put it all together, And
yeah, that's
give
awesome.
it to somebody. So, and it's actually it's not that it wasn't too difficult, just to put together. It's just time. It took some time to do it, but it was fun.
Do you have to have certain tools in order to like solder or tack solder or melt any of the silver components?
Yeah, you just a little bit, but stuff you could find at any Hobby Lobby or
Hobby Lobby or Harbor Freight or something.
Yeah, and you can always order your. Actually, I've seen where you can order your sterling silver stuff off of eBay. So I mean, you can find stuff online and just get it to you. You have to. If it's not in your area, you can always order it offline, so it's not that hard to get the stuff. So,
that's awesome. Yeah. That's an impressive skill, jewelry crafting.
So you going to be stopping on any thrift stores or Goodwills on your way back to Florida?
Oh, absolutely not. My car is packed full. I basically packed up my entire apartment and just shoved it in my car in order to go home. So I'm already like very, very, very packed. I have a couple of things that I picked up in Austin, but that's like already slide. My car is already not able to go over like 65 miles an hour. It's packed. I'll maybe take a picture and shoot you a picture of how my car looks right now because it's crazy. Like I retired my old. I had a roof topper, an old Yakima one. I retired it and got a newer, bigger one. So it just like makes my car look even more ridiculous.
You ever gonna do any more traveling thrifting like you did back in the day? What was it, like a couple years ago? You went on a
I did a travel thrift right after I graduated from college back in 2013. If I do that again, I'm definitely going to have to do it with somebody because that's what I did before, and just having somebody to talk to and kind of like you bounce energy back and forth is what it's all about. Because when I was driving out to New Mexico, it was freaking lonely, man. It was lonely out there. And it's lonely driving back. So I think having somebody with you. I don't know how Santa Claus did it by himself. He says he likes riding solo, but I mean, I like having somebody to talk to and like bounce the energy back and forth with.
Yeah, I had him on here, and he talked about all his traveling, and he actually seemed like to enjoy it. He was by himself. He did seem to enjoy it. So.
Yeah, he seemed to enjoy it when I talked to him too. That he's like doesn't have to rely on anybody. You just on your own time and do your own thing. But I get really lonely when I'm by myself for a lot of the time. So
when you get back to Florida, are you going to be doing a lot more? What are you going to be working on?
When I get back to Florida, I am going to be looking at real estate, looking at property, trying to get into an ultimate hustle, where either I'm going to get something that's a rental property that'll be putting out money every month, or putting into something where I could fix it and flip it, trying to get some stuff out of my mom's house, because I don't own any property by myself right now. I've just been kind of like bumming off of my parents, well, my mom more than anything, for the entirety of my life. So it's kind of nerve-wracking thinking about getting a property.
And what about what about your eBay and Craigslist and Amazon?
Oh, the Amazon stuff's gonna keep going. The Craigslist stuff is gonna help me liquidate some of the stuff that I have. I got a bunch of bicycles with me right now that I need to get rid of. I'll pop some of those on Craigslist. I've just been so mobile that I'm not in the same place for so long that it's very hard to establish like a really good hustle over the last couple of years. I've been very mobile. I've just been side hustling and basically giving myself a cost of living while I'm working from the hustle.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to work on my Etsy store. That's the one thing that I do enjoy, seeing it grow and like making it very nice looking is the Etsy store that I've been working on over the last, I think I hit my 12-month mark, or 12, 13, 14 months, something like that.
What kind of things have you been selling in your Etsy store? Because I know a lot of people I know that don't do Etsy, but you're like one of the guys that
very few people. Normally it's women that do Etsy, and they do like handmade stuff. But I do vintage crew necks, vintage T-shirts, vintage jackets, and snapback hats. Some shoes. I sold a couple pairs of shoes there, but mostly the hats, crew necks, sweatshirts, sweaters, and jackets.
So you would recommend adding that to a portfolio to anybody?
I mean, it's hard for me to recommend it because it doesn't make that much money for me right now. I haven't had more than 120 items at one given time up there, and I think my biggest month was only like $800 or $900 was my biggest month. And for the amount of work that I put into it, I can't like honestly recommend it to anybody right now because it's just you can make so much more money with eBay or Amazon. But I'm just doing it as like a experimental side hustle because you have to have a bunch of stuff up, and the traffic to Etsy isn't as much. But I do get some pretty good coin for what sells. It's more than what I would get other places.
What's any new items or products that you're kind of going after now?
For Etsy or what?
Yeah, for Etsy.
Oh, for Etsy, I'm always like just flipping through the clothing at the thrift shops, looking for really, really extreme graphics on the sweatshirts or on the shirts. Certain shirts have a certain feel to it. Like one from the '80s are very lighter weight. Some of them feel like kind of like a pantyhose material. Crazy graphics, old stuff made in the USA, and old school. Anything with old logos from the sports teams like Los Angeles Rams. I just sold a crew neck from them. I think I picked it up for a couple bucks. I think I sold it for, I want to say 45 or 50, something like that. But it was just because it was something from the 80s that's not around anymore. Just they don't make, Los Angeles Rams don't exist anymore. So it's just something that if they want it, they're going to pay up for something like that. It had a really cool graphic on it, too.
Do you, like, so when you're down there in Florida, I know you're a big Florida State fan, so is there a lot of Florida State shirts there when you go to Goodwill's?
Oh, gosh, it's flooded with Florida State stuff, especially in the Panhandle, like by Florida State. Yeah. I found so much Florida State stuff. Actually, pretty much all over, you could say all over the state, because it's just like one of the big state schools. So everyone that goes to these little, that are from like these areas that aren't in Tallahassee, go to Florida State, get their Florida State gear, maybe move back, donate it after 20 years or so. So it could pretty much be, peppered throughout the entire state. It's a big college, so.
So does that sometimes, since you see it so much, do you sometimes get like, oh, I don't need to buy that because it's always here? And
if it's super unique, I'll still get it. If it's really basic, I'll pass. But if it's really unique, and of course, if it's like one of the satin jackets or something like that, I'll pick it up. Which I've actually found like 2 or 3 really, really cool Florida State satin jackets that I've already sold upwards of $100.
Yeah, because like here, man, I'm from Oklahoma, so like I see OU Sooners like crazy, and I see it so much now that I'm just like, and I always pass on it, but maybe I should start picking it up, I never.
Yeah, and especially if it's the older stuff. Have they changed logos at all, the Sooners?
They haven't really changed logos. I mean, but they have old stuff.
Yeah, having the old logos kind of brings you back to like a whole different era, like a different mindset, a different part of time. They can really bring you back in time. But if it's the same logo, like I don't know why anyone would be like, oh, I want this over this.
I think maybe it looks it's like the same logo, but it's like a different font the way they do it, So.
Oh.
Yeah.
So maybe, Florida State might have an advantage over their vintage gear than some of the other colleges just because of Chief Osceola has changed throughout the years.
That makes sense. So to pick it up and
and they can get kind of wild with like the Indian stuff. So there's some pretty cool graphics and stuff that I've found.
Cool. I'm about to start just picking it up and throwing it on eBay and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, clothing is a pain to list, so if you don't mind like taking multiple pictures and measurements and dealing with people that want to know if it's going to fit here, if it's going to fit there, and then if they want to return it if it doesn't fit right in the end of the day. So it's as much as it is a necessity for people to wear, it can be a pain to sell as well compared to something that's like very streamlined like an electronic.
Yeah, that's true. What kind of electronics you into?
Everything, man. I've done iMacs, MacBook Pros, old school MacBooks. I've done Windows computers. I've done radios. I've done alarm clocks. Vintage video games is that's my freaking bread and butter. I love to have them. It's also my kryptonite because when I freaking get them, I don't want to get rid of them.
Yeah.
I have a stack of probably 20 Super Nintendo. If you combine my Super Nintendos, original Nintendos, and Nintendo 64s, I think I have a stack of about 20 in my mom's house right now.
Wow.
Some of them different colors, some of them different conditions and stuff, but I just have so much of them that it's kind of sickening, but it's also amazingly awesome at the same time.
You trying to keep them, or you going to sell them, or what?
Some of them I'm going to probably keep for my kids and whatnot. And then a lot of them I don't know. I'll either need to get a power cable for it, this and that here. But I don't know. I don't feel like they're devaluing, so I've just been like holding on to them just as like some people hold on to like silver and gold, I guess. Like Super Nintendos have only been going up. I think like just the console with no cords, you can get like $60 on Amazon right now.
Oh, wow.
Just the console. Like, no controllers, no cables, no nothing. Just like a disgusting yellow, dusty console. $60.
So where do you currently have items on what platforms now do you have?
I would say 90% or 95% are on Etsy and Amazon. I think all my eBay listings have expired and need to be renewed because I have not been using eBay at all. And I had some stuff on Craigslist, but I keep moving to where I have to just delete the listing and make it somewhere else. And I have 2 bikes on the back of my car right now that I tried to get rid of in Austin, but the one hit that I did get, the guy, he didn't come through for it, but it needs to be there for like at least a week or 2, I think, to be able
give
to
it
hit.
A chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you gonna try to go back do some eBay when you get back, or?
I might use eBay to liquidate some stuff, just to get rid of it, and then I always use eBay actually to buy more things. I buy way more things off eBay than I sell. Just
hey,
like parts and like piecing together things to make my like a radar detector. If I don't have the power supply for it, I can find it on eBay. Things like that. I really definitely buy more than I have been selling on eBay.
Have you ever bought from eBay and bought and sold from eBay?
Yeah. Bought from eBay, sold to eBay. No, usually eBay to Amazon.
eBay to Amazon?
I haven't. I know there's definitely an opportunity to buy on eBay, clean up the pictures, make it real nice, test something if it hasn't been tested correctly or departed out. But I have not been into that really. That hasn't been anything that I've been focusing on.
Are you gonna go sell some more stuff at Florida State? I saw that the videos you posted before.
My Florida State video. I don't think so because I'm not in Tallahassee anymore. I was up there for about 6 or 7 months with a job that I was working at Walgreens up there. But now that I'm not, I don't know if I'm going to be having too much of a presence in Tallahassee anymore. I've been looking at the real estate market there a lot, and I do have a pretty okay grip on the real estate market. So I might get a piece of property up there one day and then have another opportunity to hustle. But the thing about that is people just think I'm homeless trying to make money.
Yeah.
They're like, don't believe anything this guy said. Like it really is like shutdown after shutdown after shutdown after shutdown after shutdown. Like people just shut you down. It's hard.
Are you gonna try to flip a house? Is that what you're gonna try to do?
I would like to. I would like to flip a house. That would be ultimate, and I think that would be a bigger bang for my buck in the long run if I'm trying to accumulate a lot more wealth.
Where do you go shopping when you are sourcing at when you're down in, back home?
When I get back home, I'm going to be in Port Charlotte. A lot of the Goodwills around us have really nice clothing. A lot of like Ralph Lauren Purple Label stuff I found at these Goodwills. Nice ties, really nice ties, and a lot of nice shoes. But I'm probably not going to be sourcing there too much. I'm focusing more on like selling. I actually have to do some stuff for the Green Room. In July, we're having a meetup in Texas, and I'll be giving a presentation, and I need to build that presentation, so that's going to be a focus. That's going to be a big focus on what I'm going to be doing. And I'm actually vacationing to Costa Rica in about a week.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be...
You know what, I haven't talked a lot about the Green Room since I started this chat. Can you kind of just like... people who don't know about it, kind of give just like a little breakdown of what the Green Room is? Okay.
So the Green Room is a Facebook group. Right now it's a Facebook group. We're trying to evolve it into a website. It's $100 a year to get into it. We decided to charge $100 a year to filter out a lot of the trolls, a lot of the negativity and shenanigans, because people that do have that are in the reselling realm usually will not shell out $100 a year to get in there. It's a group ran by myself, Steve Rakin, Cody Hawk, the Bonafide Hustler, and Yang J. Chong. He's an Amazon hustling guy, and we kind of moderate and do moderation of a Facebook group, kind of to get people to connect, provide bolos when we find out about something that's really cool or something that we learned. We'll try to share it in there, and a lot of people like to share the information there about what their hustles are, what they're good at, and kind of connect that way through the Facebook platform.
So not only do y'all like help out that way and help give bolos or advice or provide that, y'all also throwing a big event, right, this summer?
Yeah, we're throwing a get-together in Austin, Texas. I want to say it's July 11th. I'm really bad with schedules and dates, but I'm pretty sure it's July 11th. It's going to be in Austin, Texas. We should be having some sort of conference, reseller. We're going to have some presentations on a couple different topics that might pertain to certain people's niches, or maybe you just want to come for the social aspect of it. But we're going to be doing some events there where I know it's going to be at least the conference, baby conference, some sort of like picker conference there in Texas. Yeah.
It's free, and it's free if you're just a member of the
Green Room,
right?
If you're a member of the Facebook Green Room group, you are going to be able to get in for free. And I believe if you're not, you can get in at the door or pre-order a ticket once they're on sale.
So that's pretty good. That's a good opportunity for if you're a picker or a reseller to come network with other pickers or sellers that have been doing it for a while. Exactly.
Network with people, kind of get the social get some of the socialism out of it, because having being a picker it's a lot different of a lifestyle than a 9-to-5 job, because you don't really have a lot of coworkers. You don't have that like employee socialism. So that's one part that kind of is lacking, I think, in the reselling realm, is that if you're doing it by yourself, you'd miss out on a lot of the social aspects of work, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
pretty good. And the Green Room, it's more of like a more friendly environment, than just
a lot of people say they like the vibe and the positivity than some of their Facebook groups that have like 15 or 20,000 people in it, and it just people can be very they call them keyboard gangsters when they're just very like harsh behind the keyboard, I guess.
About how many members do you guys have?
I think we're hovering around like 280 right now, which is pretty small in the grand scheme of things, because a lot of people just lurk and like learn and read, and then a lot of other people like connect and talk, but definitely not everybody is at the same level of activeness.
So, which is good. You have the novice, and then you also have some people who've been doing it for a while, and then some.
Yeah, it's a good hodgepodge mix-up of people that have either never gotten into reselling or have been doing it forever.
That sounds pretty good.
It's a lot of fun.
What has those other guys? What has Young and Rake Profit and those other guys been up to?
Young has been working. I know that. Steve's been doing a lot of Kindle. Chris is working out on. He has like a gym studio in his house, which is really cool. I helped him build the lights, actually. He has a workout channel that he's trying to build up and promote, and kind of.
Didn't he recently release a book?
Yeah, he did. He released actually a hardcover book, and he released a guide on flipping bicycles, which is really professional and a really helpful guide if you know nothing about bicycles, or if you just know the middle ground, like if you're an intermediate hustler on bicycles. So it'd be really good for you for that too. But he did that, and he also has a hard copy book called Flip That just is kind of like goes through his journey of how he started and his mindset, and kind of help build people from the ground up.
And didn't you come out with the book about a year ago?
Yeah, I did. There was actually an untapped market that a lot of people, some people knew about it, but they didn't really know the best way about it, how to sell it. and that was the Guitar Hero guide. It was like a Guitar Hero Bible that I spent like 2 months writing, pretty much to teach people that have never played Guitar Hero before, or never done anything, like the basics of how they could flip something that you get at a Goodwill for like $2, upwards of over $100 if you do it correctly.
Wow. Where can people still buy that guide today?
Yeah, they can. I hardly sell any copies of it because I do not promote it at all, which it's really hard to promote your own product.
Yeah.
And I have not made one video about it or any, like I've like maybe put links in the videos, but I've never like explicitly said like, hey, I have this for sale. You can go buy it. It actually is like really helpful if you sit down and read it, and I put a lot of work into it. And I actually have that on my Etsy store. It's the main place where people buy it. Surprisingly enough, you can sell intellectual property on Etsy, which is really cool.
Tell people how they can buy it. I want to get the word out, because that's some people, they I see Guitar Heroes all the time. I don't have the book, but maybe I should get it. I see them for like $4 or $5 at Goodwills all the time, but I don't know what to do with them. So. Yeah,
there's a copy in the green room if you haven't read that already. There's a copy of it for free in the green room.
Wow.
We have it in there. It's a good read. I put a lot of work into it. It's on my Etsy store if you want to check it out. It's I think you should type into Etsy, type into College Picker, it'll pop up.
Okay. So
or
people,
probably Guitar Hero too. It'll probably pop up too.
Yeah, so people, if they want to get in the green room, I heard there's a lot of free copies of books in there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of books. I think Steve's books, one or two of Steve's books about clothing are in there. I have a copy of the Guitar Hero manual in there. Chris's bikes book is in there for free.
Wow.
And he also gives you like discounts on a bunch of stuff. If you want to buy any of the other products, they give you discounts on it.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, just right there, it's more than, I think, if you were to buy anything individually.
Dang.
It's like a bundle deal.
Well, cool, man. I appreciate you coming on the show today and talking and kind of, catching up and just seeing what's going on with you.
Oh, yeah, no problem. This is, it's actually really cool to be able to talk while I'm driving. It makes the drive so much less gruesome and terrible.
One thing I kind of ask people, I like to, maybe you could give like one bolo out or, be on the lookout for so people can be like, oh yeah, I'm going to look out for that item or whatever that. Maybe a little bolo.
I would say do not discredit or do not look past PlayStation 1 RPGs. Do not look past them because you could find some big coin with the old school PlayStation 1 RPG games.
All right, there we go.
So if you see anime or Japanese looking cover art on a PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 game, definitely look farther into it. Because I have a freaking PlayStation 1 game inside of my car right now that I'm looking at. That's worth $150 to $170. So.
Wow.
It's called Suikoden 2. It is an RPG for the PlayStation 1. So that was one that I was very surprised on how much it was worth.
And one thing that you said that I also heard the Resell Rabbit say is make sure to always look in the glass case at Goodwills.
Oh yeah, always look in the glass case because there can be hidden gems in there. That's normally where they think that. That's a lot of times they put video games there just because people will steal them, so they'll put them in the glass case. So they tend to congregate to the glass case.
Yep. So we'll make sure to check all that out. All right, College Picker is you also have a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, I'm not as active on YouTube because I've been working over the past 12 months. I've had a job. Yeah. Unemployed now, so if I can get the motivation to get back on YouTube, I'd be happy to try to make some more videos. I want to get more into the tech, the tech of what I do. I do a lot of repairs for things behind the scenes. A lot more, maybe 5% of stuff gets onto YouTube. So It's a lot of work. It actually is a lot of work with very little reward other than it's like a lot of emotional reward, not a lot of monetary reward. So it's a lot of fun. I need to get back into it. I need to buy a new camera. Actually, I sold my T3i a year after I bought it, used it for a year, and sold it for more than I bought it for, which is like a great hustle.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Have a safe trip, and and then we'll get back with you later on. Do a follow up.
Yeah, if you want to do a follow up, if I ever can buy and sell a property, I'd love to talk about the ultimate flip or ultimate hustle that I've ever done, like that on that grand scale.
All right. Well, it's good to have you on the show.
Well, thanks for having me.